Hey everybody, this is Danelle. Today we are going to talk about some of the biggest stories in the NFT market. But as usual, let's go ahead and go through the cryptocurrency market. As you can see, Bitcoin is currently trading at about $21,857, Ethereum at $1,500. As you can see here, the 7-day drop has been a little over 6% for Bitcoin and almost 8% for Ethereum. And a lot of this drop has to do with the news that Kraken, one of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges, reached a $30 million settlement with the SEC regarding their staking program. So there's a lot of um, concern regarding what the SEC is going to decide when it comes to certain cryptocurrencies and whether or not they're securities. And now that we're learning that there is a possibility that staking, particularly in the United States, could be um, illegal, considered illegal, then that's going to affect a lot of the cryptocurrencies that allow staking, which basically means that you can take a cryptocurrency and hold it. And if you hold it for a particular period of time, you can actually earn basically interest, meaning that you can earn more crypto of that particular in-kind crypto for having it held. So Ethereum, for example, has staking as well as many other cryptocurrencies. And so I think the main reason why there was a tremendous dip down this past week is because of that news. So we can see here, looking at the Bitcoin 7-day chart, that that news came out of the settlement on Thursday, February 9th. And you can see on February 7th, February 8th, we were trending in that $23,000 range of Bitcoin. And then come February 9th, when that news came out, you see the drop down to the 21,000 range. So we'll see if we get back up to that 23,000 range or not. It may be some time, or we may continue to take another leg down because we do have some big news coming up soon with the CPI numbers, which is the inflation numbers coming out this week. So NFTs on Bitcoin are now a thing. So as you can see here in this article, the hottest Bitcoin NFTs are CryptoPunks clones. So Bitcoin, which is divisible by Satoshis. There's 100 million Satoshis in one Bitcoin. They actually can have data written on a Satoshi. So people have now come up with ways to be able to attach JPEGs to these Satoshis, the individual Satoshis. So you can have JPEGs, you can have inscriptions, all different types of things that can be attached to a particular Satoshi. So now that this is possible and people are starting to take advantage of this opportunity, they are now attaching different JPEGs, similar to these CryptoPunks that you see here, to a Bitcoin Satoshi. So it's actually not only a value because it's a Satoshi, but now it also has a piece of data linked to it, whether it be a number, which are ordinals, or whether it be a JPEG like these CryptoPunks. Now you have these images or these pieces of data on a Satoshi. So Bitcoin NFTs, as you see here, are the talk of the Web3 world right now. And thanks to a new way to mint this media on the layer 1 blockchain. So it's actually on chain. So it's different than Ethereum NFTs because they're actually not on chain. You're using smart contracts and third parties to actually be able to mint an Ethereum NFT. But with a ordinals Bitcoin NFT, it's actually data that's on chain. As I mentioned, the data is actually attached directly to the Satoshi. So CryptoPunks was a very popular and is a very popular and influential NFT project on Ethereum. So it's not surprising that there also are going to be CryptoPunks on Bitcoin. So the first few Bitcoin CryptoPunks have now seen amazing sales. As you can see here, one of the ordinal punks, as they're called, was sold for 9.5 Bitcoin, which is approximately $214,000 at the time of the sale, which is absolutely incredible. So in the last month or so, we see that over 50,000 Satoshis have now been added to the Bitcoin blockchain. I should say not 50,000 Satoshis, but 50,000 ordinal inscriptions, which is the data attached to a Satoshi, has been added to the Bitcoin blockchain in 2023. So ordinal inscriptions are gaining popularity in 2023. Just 5 days prior, there were only 7,000 inscriptions, and now, as of February 11th, there are over 57,000 inscriptions, hosted on the Bitcoin blockchain. So ordinal punks, as we just mentioned, they're a collection of 100. So obviously they're very, very small. It's a very, very small collection. And Dingaling, who's a well-known NFT collector in the Ethereum space, has just acquired 7 of those ordinal punks, and he paid over 15 Bitcoin for these 7 punks. So we will see what the value continues to be over time, because we've seen that CryptoPunks, we've seen sales of over 1 million for a CryptoPunk. So we're now starting to see that these ordinal punks are gaining some steam. So we wouldn't be surprised if at some point down the line we start to see $1 million sales of these ordinal punks. If you want to learn a little bit more, and we're thinking about doing a deeper dive and maybe doing a video just dedicated specifically to the ordinal Bitcoin NFTs. So if you're very interested in that, please let us know. And here you can find a little bit more information. This is at ordinals.com, and it's an introduction just so you can have a general understanding. It's very well written, and gives you some understanding of exactly what ordinal theory is and how it is a way to assign or be able to put on a Satoshi any type of inscription. So as you can see here, it says individual Satoshis can be inscribed with arbitrary content, creating unique Bitcoin native digital artifacts that can be held in Bitcoin wallets and transferred using Bitcoin transactions. So these inscriptions are durable, immutable, secure, and decentralized as Bitcoin itself. So this is what makes it and differentiates it from Ethereum, and the fact that it's also immutable like Bitcoin. So we're very curious to see what's going to happen with these Bitcoin NFTs. We're sure that there's going to be many more to come. Right now, it's extremely difficult to get access to these Bitcoin NFTs because you have to be able to run your own Bitcoin node. So that can be costly, just being able to get a computer to be able to run the node, and also just to understand the general intricacies of being able to send and receive these Bitcoin NFTs. So it's something definitely to keep an eye out for. I'm sure there's people working on it now to be able to potentially have a marketplace, because right now basically everything is over the counter. So you have to be able to have a trusted party, because you're not sure whether or not you're going to actually get the Bitcoin NFT that you're trying to purchase. So there's going to be right now people are basically using like a Excel spreadsheet and Discord and things of that nature to communicate with one another and be able to send these Bitcoin NFTs. So definitely be very careful if you are interested in getting involved in Bitcoin NFTs, but we will continue to keep you posted as we learn more about this phenomenon. So as we move on to the next story, Hublot, which is a very well-known watchmaker, and they are selling NFTs. So they've actually sold NFTs last year, but now they're going to be selling 13 unique timepieces. So the actual physical watches you'll be able to buy with the collaboration between Hublot and Takashi Murakami. But you have to have a Hublot NFT to be able to be in the running to purchase one of these physical one of these physical watches. So as you can see, the 13 unique NFTs are inspired by Japanese video games and TV from the 1970s, and classic fusion Takashi Murakami All Black, the first collaboration between the Swiss watchmaker and Takashi, launched in 2021. These NFTs are linked to a limited edition of 13 unique classic fusion watches that will be unveiled at Watches and Wonders 2023 in Geneva. So 12 of these watches will be available for purchase exclusively on Hublot.com, and they can be purchased for 50,000 franc, which is basically about 54,000 US dollars, which can only be accessed by owners of this particular NFT project. So if you go here to OpenSea, the Hublot Classic Fusion Murakami NFT, there's 324 total items, and you can purchase them now for a little over $1,500 because they're going for about 1.11 ETH is the floor price. So there wasn't a ton of activity on this NFT because it's been out since last August. And as you can see, not a ton of activity, but over these last couple of days since the announcement, we've had a lot more activity and a lot more sales as people looks to be very interested in potentially buying or having access to that timepiece, the actual physical watch. Another well-known fashion designer and fragrance maker is the House of Mugler, and they recently came out with their digital collectibles. And we're starting to find that more platforms and companies, Web2 companies who are interested in getting into Web3, are going to be calling NFTs digital collectibles. NFTs, non-fungible tokens, have are very polarizing. A lot of people equate NFTs as being very energy intensive and being bad for the environment. So now you're starting to find more companies use the term digital collectibles, even though they are actually NFTs because they're being minted on a blockchain. So you can see that Mugler is a metaverse native, and they're letting everyone, giving everyone the chance to have their own creation. So Angel is one of their most popular fragrances, was born in 1992, and now they're offering their consumers an opportunity to have a Angel and be metaverse ready. So how does it work? You can experience the profiler to discover the Angel cruise. Then starting on February 7th, OpenSea did the mint for, well, they did the mint, but you were able to purchase the Mugler NFT via OpenSea, and we'll show you in a second the OpenSea page. And then once it was revealed on February 10th, you could see the different types of angels and what they look like. And then you then are able to claim your utility, which looks to be a premium metal print of your angels collectible. And that's, I guess, pretty cool. It'll be a nice little collectible. So you'll have the digital collectible, and then you'll also have the physical collectible. So we definitely think that this is going to be a trend for a lot of Web 2 companies going into Web 3, is that there's going to be, just like the Hublot watches, there's going to be a link and a connection. If you have the NFT, you also will potentially have some type of physical version, or be able to have, or be in the running to have, access to different events and things of that nature. So here are the Angel NFTs and what they look like. So there are a bunch of different designs. So they're currently available on OpenSea, and they're going for about 0.29 ETH right now is the cheapest, the floor price currently for these Mugler Angels. As we discussed, digital collectibles, Reddit teamed up with the NFL for Super Bowl collectible avatars, and these actually were free. Over 600,000, you can see 651,800 avatars have been minted. You have different types or different NFTs that you could mint, from an Eagles NFT, one that represented the Chiefs. These are the two teams that are going to be in the Super Bowl. And then you also have one called the Champs and the 57 Super Fans collectible, because it's the 57th Super Bowl. So these are the pictures of what the avatars look like. So we can see that the NFL and some other major sports organizations are getting into the Web3 space. So we are going to be seeing more and more of these type of avatars, and more of, these leagues coming up with ways to be able to use digital collectibles for their fan bases. And so Reddit has jumped on board, which makes a lot of sense. So it's also going to be helping in basically onboarding people into the digital collectible space, because we are still very, very early. So that's why we're trying to get this information out to you now, so we can be able to take advantage of this opportunity of being so early to this emerging market. And speaking of the Super Bowl, we are going to move to Rihanna, who is the halftime talent for the Super Bowl halftime show this year. Her producer is selling royalties to Be Better Have My Money as NFTs. So, music NFTs are something that are also going to start to gain and has started to gain some popularity. We've seen artists like Nas, who has sold an NFT where you can get royalties from his streaming from one of his songs, and now one of the producers of Be Better Have My Money, because producers, as well as the artists, are able to receive royalties on streams from a particular song. He's giving a percentage of his royalty to his NFT holders. So he sold 300 Ethereum NFTs, and he's going to give each holder 0.0033% of the song's streaming royalties. So they did the math, and it turns out that for each NFT, you would get about $13 per year, depending on obviously how often that music is streamed. It's a very popular song, so we're sure that it's going to be streamed a ton over these next several years. So it would take about 15 years because this NFT at the time, if you bought it when it was first minted, it was approximately $210. So it would take 15 years to recoup that initial investment. Of course, the number could range depending on how many times the music is streamed, but in any event, there could be some value in the NFT just because it's, for one, linked to Rihanna and linked to her song, and it's one of the first music NFTs that have been created. So there could be some value in that just because of its historical significance. And music NFTs are becoming more and more popular. And as you can see here, Justin Blau, who's a popular DJ, has a Web3 platform called Royal, where it sells music NFTs. And so far, it has already paid $132,000 in royalties to NFT collectors. So, music NFTs are definitely another emerging portion of the emerging market of NFTs. You can see that major fashion houses are getting into NFTs. Other Web 2 companies like the NFL, for example, are partnering with Reddit to get into NFTs. So we're starting to see how NFTs and digital collectibles are gaining popularity. We're going to, of course, keep you posted on all the major news in the NFT space. So we look forward to keeping you posted and linking up with you soon. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Stay safe. Bye-bye.